Say, if you like really corny, true love stories, well, I've got one for you tonight. Cinematic class is about to begin, and the professor is in. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's lesson plan deals with modern life is rubbish. I tell you what, I have the official press release here for you. The movie, that's kind of what it looks like. Can't hold up the disc for you, but that's the official press release for it. This is it's a British movie, so there are times when these folks actually talk to each other. You're looking saying, should there be subtitles under this? Yes. Its accents are pretty heavy there for a while. It centers around, well, it's a love story and it's a love template, but it basically centers around the argument of the digital versus what I like to call old school. Let me give you a little background story about this. One day I happened to have my old vinyls out, my own LPs and records, and I was listening to an album that my son is very familiar with because he has the digital download version. And he came upstairs and he said, "Is that like an alternative version or something?" I said, "No, that's the vinyl. That's when they had it right before they tried to change everything into ones and zeros." And he sat and listened to the rest of the album, amazed at some of the things that he was hearing that simply just aren't there on the digital. And that's the crux of what happens behind this love story. There's a scene where the boy has this massive collection of vinyl, and it just categorized and everything. And she wants him to digitize everything so that they can just throw everything out and everything will be contained on a little USB port. Wow, talk about culture clashes. He can't stand it. You got to hear it on vinyl, that type of thing. But the whole bottom line is that undercurrent of digital age versus modern age carries over into their love life too, as he pursues his dream of being a musician in a rock band, and she kind of wants him to grow up and become mature and just get a regular 9-to-5 job to support her. Freya Mayer and Josh Whitehouse are the love couple in this movie, and they do a nice little job of it. I got to tell you that the ending is really out of a Harlequin romance. I don't think guys, especially in today's society and culture, would go to the great lengths that Josh does to win her back in this movie. I mean, it's a bit much, and you kind of go, man, that's really corny. You could see all the girls like melting in their seats. Oh, this is so romantic. And the guys are like, yeah, that ain't gonna happen. Director of this movie was Daniel Jerome Gill. He is one of the dreaded three named people. But, they do a lot of that in England. That doesn't excuse it. It's more commonplace there, I guess, there in Mexico, what have you. The whole bottom line is this is all about the music, and some of the tunes that are introduced in this are kind of interesting. But the bottom line is there is nothing in this template movie that offers anything new. There's no real big kind of twist that happens that you go, ooh, it kind of sets it aside. It's basically just a boy meets girl, boy loses girl, boy gets girl back again type of a love tale. And I'm sure that it'll make all the ladies in your life just swoon over things. And you'll be sitting there scratching your head saying, well, the music was okay. So you got that going for it. The movie is Modern Life is Rubbish. It's a pretty much run-of-the-mill love tale. I guess if you're into that, you might enjoy it. Now that you have learned what you have learned, here endeth your lesson.